travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true.
Hey besties, this is Julie.
And this is Chantel, and we are Vida.
Welcome back to the show. You guys, Chantel's voice is on point this morning. I needed to let you know she didn't give you all of her all in that Vida part, but she was singing some Selena. And so that's why I'm a bit distracted.
Me too.
So welcome back to our first episode together in like the longest. Well, how long?
Longest time. Whoa. For the longest time. Whoa.
For the longest time. Just saying, guys. Okay, so we're going to get ourselves together. Today is...
We are, sorry.
I don't know if you could tell, but we're a little bit all over the place. Meaning today is our Sancocho episode.
And after having a week, so we definitely missed Julie. So Julie and I weren't together the week before last.
We were not.
And then she and I weren't together last week. But both weeks, we had, hold on, sorry, technical difficulties, you hear that. We had a guest host on for both weeks, and now we're back together. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun just because we haven't seen each other in a while, so it's going to be a lot of acting up. We're just going to apologize now for that.
Right.
But then not apologize for it. Why are we apologizing?
No, because people love this episode.
Yeah.
You guys, if you are new around here, our episode of our Sancocho episode means it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, or rishi, esto, aquello. And we talk about just about everything that's on our minds, everything that's trending, everything that's been plaguing us, and we talk about it in a way that we hope is beneficial to you. So welcome back. Just so that you know, though, I haven't forgotten.
About the roses. Did you watch, because I know you said your connection wasn't that great, but you watched some of the show last week.
Yes, I did.
Did you watch our opening?
Yes, I did.
Did you see how Josh checked me? Because I really seriously forgot. It wasn't...
Yep.
Julie knows how I feel. I don't hate this segment. I actually do like it. But she knows how I felt in the beginning. Like, oh, shoot, I don't have anybody. That's why we made a Brenda in the Northeast.
It's a lot of pressure.
But it wasn't even like Julie's not here, I'm not going to do it. It was a complete, like, I forgot.
You were all into the conversation.
I was.
It started off live right away, and I get it. So for those of you who are new around here, our Roses segment is a section in which we give a listener a shout out, and we let them know how much we appreciate them while they are listening. Chantel, do you want to go ahead and go first?
So if you already have it, I'm going to ask you to go because I really did have somebody.
Oh, you do have somebody.
And now I'm drawing a blank of who that.
Okay, because you want to figure out that right person.
Yes, because I was like, I had it, and I got to remember.
No problem. Okay, I'm going to do my listener shout out. Oh, you have yours.
I do.
Okay, go ahead, friend.
First?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so
you seem like you got a good one.
I told Dylan about this, and I told Julie I wasn't going to share it until we got on air. And I have to explain this correctly. So if it's my paternal grandmother's grandfather,
okay,
his sister, Aunt Inez. She turned 100 yesterday. Wow. I think yesterday, sometime this week, and we're having her birthday party today.
Oh, that's really cool.
So it's going to be like a family reunion, and I don't really see that side of the family too much, but they're very, very, every time I see them, they're so sweet, and everybody's so nice, and I'm so excited. So shout out to Aunt Inez. I think she was, maiden name was Turner. I don't know what her married name is, sorry. But shout out to her, 100 years old. That's amazing. Yep.
That's amazing. And some of what we're going to talk about today is health. So talk about the picture of health. To be able to live to 100 and still be throwing celebrations.
I'm like all leaning sideways and sorry.
Me too. We're figuring out these cameras, you know.
I'm trying to like share the link on Facebook. So, okay.
That's what I'm doing too. So if you guys are on our live, then you already know that we have a Facebook link that we always post on our pages from the YouTube channel where we're broadcasting live. But also you can listen live on usulamedia.com. So however you're listening, there's a way to listen and also view our facial expressions while we're talking, because sometimes that adds a lot of content. Okay, so my listener shout out or my roses are going to this couple that we met when we were in the DR last weekend named Jess and Tim. And they're actually from South Jersey, which is so ironic because you meet people from all over the world, and we met somebody or a couple people that were less than an hour away from us. But I'm shouting them out because I just want to shout out in general the concept of making new friends and meeting people all over the world. And
what?
Yes,
new friends for Julie Viera?
I am growing as a person, as an individual.
Julie was very no new friends every year. But then she'd be the one to always meet new friends.
No, okay. So this is what happens. Generally, I find myself to be a pretty shy person. Would you agree? Like with
Yes.
new people.
Yeah.
And so when I get on vacation, I don't know if it's the all-inclusive drinks or if it's the sunshine and the liberation that you feel from all of your worries and struggles at home.
All of the above.
All of that. I tend to be a lot more open. Well, we always go on vacation, Julio and I, and we find people with whom we build relationships, and we tend to still, speak to them and nurture these relationships after we go on vacation. So shout out to them because they are our most recent. I almost said suspects. I don't know why I said that. They're our most recent
The brain sometimes.
friends, and
Yeah.
we're really excited to be able to, embrace all of the things that we learn from them and whoever else we meet.
How was your vacation?
It was really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice, really warm. Lots of food, lots of dancing, lots of sunshine. You really can't go wrong when it doesn't go below like 70 degrees, right?
Right.
It was great. It was great. For those of you who don't know, my husband is also, he's half Dominican, half Puerto Rican. So it's always nice for him to be able to feel like he's in
home.
his home,
Yeah.
right? And he said that. He said, wow, I feel like home. Everywhere we go, everyone's like, oh my God, are you Dominican? And he's like, yeah, I'm Dominican. And everyone's like finally be able to figure out what he is because I find him to be a little bit racially ambiguous sometimes. If we're around people who are Middle Eastern, he can look Middle Eastern. If he is around black people, he can look black. If he's around Dominicans, he can look Dominican, Puerto Rican, whatever. But everybody right away, they're like, he's Dominican. He's Dominican. It was great. He felt really included.
That's nice.
How was your week?
Pretty good. Last weekend, so Josh and I were here, and then I had a wedding. It was gorgeous.
You had a wedding? Oh, that's right.
Yeah. It looked expensive. That's all I would say. It looked expensive. And then Sunday was Super Bowl Sunday.
That's right.
Also, it was my grandmother's, my abuela's 80th birthday. So shout out to her.
Really?
Yes, it was her 80th birthday.
She's not 80.
80.
She's not 80.
Mm-hmm. 80.
If
So-
you guys saw this woman, she'd be out there dancing and stuff.
Yes. Did you see my mom's post from their wedding anniversary?
Yes.
Yeah, so a blessing.
Wow.
A blessing, 80 years. So we went and took her to breakfast. She likes IHOP in her town,
Right,
in her
right.
area. So we went to
That's
IHOP
nice.
for breakfast. My house is like kind of upside down. I finally got to put clothes away yesterday.
Okay.
That's been there since last Sunday.
Ooh, yeah. I know the feeling.
Because I was allowed to leave work early.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked up my son. Didn't pick my daughter up yet from daycare because I knew if I picked her up, I was not going to
You weren't going to be able to.
So yeah, so I got home, folded up, put it away, and then when I thought I was done, I saw another basket of the kids' clothes. So I still have one. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, but it's getting there. It's getting there.
But
It's all-
those baskets of the kids' clothes, I don't know how many of you listeners have kids. It'll look like just a normal sized basket, and it'll have so many clothes in
because
there.
it's all little.
Yeah. So I remember one time I came over to Chantel's and she's like, here, you do this basket. I'm going to do this, and that, whatever. And then so I'm in the basket and I'm like, I feel like it's eating oatmeal. Like every time I take a bite, it's not going anywhere. And I feel like I did something.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Especially socks. Baby socks.
Especially socks and onesies.
Yes.
Last week, prior to going to Dominican Republic, I might have been a little bit MIA on social media, you guys, but I was away in New Jersey with my sister-in-law. Shout out to her and my niece and nephew and my suegros and stuff because we got to see each other, and I was there helping to take care of the baby for a week, and
I know you were in heaven.
So awesome. Yes,
You
I
and
was
babies.
in heaven. It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
I missed them so much. Also, I was able to bring my niece a cat. So she was so excited to have a little kitten. It's been fun-filled, action-packed, family-oriented. And that's sort of what we all needed, right?
Yes.
We all need that sometimes.
So I don't know. Did you have somewhere you wanted to go in this first segment?
Yes, girl.
Okay.
Mhm. We better get there.
Okay,
We better get
because
there.
I know you said you had a story you were going to tell when you showed me your leg, but I don't know if you were saving that to a certain point.
friend. You might as well have you. Thank you.
Okay.
You got me together. Hold
Okay.
on, you guys. My lips are dry. So, guess what happened to me?
What happened?
I was in DR, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing this new thing where I'm living,
Okay.
right? I'm living. I'm like,
No restrictions.
no restrictions. For those of you who don't know, my health is very limiting in terms of things I can do. And so I was like, you know what? If I'm going to pass out, I'm going to pass out anyway, whether I'm having fun or if I'm laying down. So anyway, we're in DR. And generally, if you go to resorts, you know this, then the entertainment team, there's a group of staff who get hired to have fun
Yeah.
with the people who go to the resort. Entertainment team, we're like, okay, we're going to do Olympics tomorrow at 11 a.m. We're hype. We're hype. Me and our friends, Tim, Jess, Julio, these French people, everyone, we're hype. We're like, we're going tomorrow. It's our side of the resort, the adults only section, versus the other side of the resort, which is, more inclusive, family and everything. Yeah. Okay, so we went to bed early. We
this was not a drill.
Yeah, we made sure that we didn't drink in the morning too much. We were ready, and then we go over there. We're thinking it's gonna be I'm telling you, the entertainment staff came out with padded shoulders and jerseys and stuff.
So y'all thought this was like the gauntlet, like MTV Real World,
Road
Rules.
Yeah, we're we're playing football. We must be playing football on the sand. We must be playing volleyball. All this stuff, we could do that. No. We ended up going over there. They had chairs stacked on top of chairs that are the ones that you lay out in the sun, and then you had to crawl under one and jump over another one, run around another one. I was like, nobody told me this was going to be American Ninja Warrior, because I see the postural changes. So what happened?
American or Dominican Ninja Warrior.
Dominican Ninja Warriors is what happened there. So we arrive, we're ready, we see the other team, we do a chant, and we had to, make up a dance, and we're like doing our dance, and then whatever. So we lost the first part because our people couldn't get it together and decide what dance choreography we were gonna do versus the other team. So it was a little messy.
So it was all over,
right.
Y'all had two separate, okay.
Yeah, so that was motivación.
It was like if J-Lo and Shakira came together, but they were both doing at the same time, different shows.
Different
shows.
Right? And so that was supposed to be the motivation. They're like, all right, we're just going to get hype. We're going to do this or whatever. That's the motivation. Nobody said that was for points, or else we would have been from the beginning. I would have just had to take over and then whatever. So then they start with 15 points, the other team. So they already started like that. So the first one, we're like, all right, we're going hard. Hard. You had to jump over the first chair, crawl under the next one, run around this chair 2 times, crawl under that one, jump over the next one. Cool. For those of you who don't know, anytime that I lay down and sit up, I'm supposed to do that slow.
Yes.
But I was like, I'm about to win this, right? So I go, and then I crawl under the first one, jump over the second one. I made it alive. Run around the 2 chairs, and I come back. I can't see anything.
I knew you were going to say you got dizzy.
I couldn't see anything. It's black. Everything's black. I know that I need to go straight.
Like on the roller coaster when it does loop-de-loop and you lose your vision, you lost it from running around in circles.
1,000% lost it. But I knew everything was straight. But eventually I was going to have to crawl under a chair. So I ran. I fell to the ground.
Not being able to see still?
Yeah. So I ran. I started crawling from so far away. So far away. And turns out the sand was really, really gritty, and there's concrete from the building under. I scraped my knees so bad, but I was like, I just gotta get back. I don't know where we're going. So I came back with battle wounds.
What did your husband say?
My husband pulled his hamstring, so he's out there almost dying. And then our other friend, Tim, he had this big bruise. He looked like he was about to break a kidney.
Was this all people close to 30 and up? Is this what y'all crew consisted of?
Yeah, it did.
When you get to a certain age.
Yeah, we were running like we were 22. And then it hit us real hard. All of us were hurt. I had to jump into the pool and cool down. You guys, I'm alive. I'm glad
so glad you're alive.
But barely. So a little bit more about, catching up with you guys in the next segment. But we're also going to talk about a few topics that we think you guys will find interesting, like how to be a high achiever mentally. Join us in the next segment where we talk about sancocho.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you'll go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like.
You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from invisible or silent. If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Thank you for being a friend.
Hey besties, welcome back to the Vida show. If you're just tuning in, this is our Sancocho episode where we talk about this and that and everything in between. I have with me my co-host,
have a party.
Shan throwing a party. On the ones and twos, we have DJ Dylan, our engineer, who is oh so great, and I wish you guys could hear his commentary in the background. It's also very
I think when he speaks, they can hear you, right?
No?
No?
They can't
Oh, only when we ask you specific questions do you turn your mic on. Okay. I'm with
Okay.
it. I get
Yeah,
it.
we're going to have to do an episode one time where Dylan's actually part of the show because he is hilarious.
Yeah.
And he came in here with his hair slicked back.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
He came all nice.
Normally
today.
always has a hat on.
Always has a
His
hat.
hair is slicked back today, and I have the hat on.
Yeah.
But y'all see me in hats a lot.
So that's what's going on here in the studio. We painted you a little picture of what's going on, and we are ready to talk about how to be a high achiever. Okay? Because we're thinking about 2020. We're still in the beginning of 2020. You know, January doesn't count. Okay?
That's what everybody's saying.
I don't. It should really count, and if you make it count, then you're
Right.
really doing good, guys. But all right, I'm gonna need February to be my January right now. So I figured what we could do is talk about how to make the most of this year, right? So I'm looking for things and ideas on how to really get it together. You know, you need some motivation, some mindfulness, some movement, you know, all the things, right? So I go to this article. It's from IQ Matrix. So it sounded legit. I don't know. It seems like a legit resource. And it says, in order to be a high achiever, you have to be a go-getter mentally. Let's just talk about that from the beginning. What does it mean to you, Shani, to be a go-getter mentally speaking?
So that's something I struggled with. I remember I struggled with it to the fact that I would pray, like, please, Father, give me motivation, and please give me these things. And but I think mentally a go-getter means mentally telling yourself, I can and I will, no matter what that goal is. Like, I will do this thing.
Yeah.
Once you write them down and then visualize it. Or visualize and write it down, whatever your process is.
When you think about go-getters, who do you think about?
When I think about go-getters,
I know one of the first people that I think about is like Oprah Winfrey.
I was going to say, I think, like, to me, my mind goes athletes or artists
Ooh,
first.
'cause
So,
the
like,
movement.
Serena Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kobe, man.
Yeah, I know.
He always, I saw a quote that he said, you know, there was somebody else walked into the gym and he came in after Kobe was already working out and left before Kobe
And
finished.
he was still there.
Yeah, and he was like, you know, how do you do it? How do you do it? Kobe goes, I wasn't going to let you outwork me.
Yeah.
And that seems like the mentality of a go-getter to me.
Yeah, and us being here in Philly, Iverson, after he put his statement out, he said that when they first played each other, they went out. And then Kobe asked Iverson, what are you doing before the game, or tonight before the game? And Allen was like, I'm going to the club. And Allen asked Kobe, and he was like, I'm going to the gym.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. See, okay, so it's mental, right? But then what I'm hearing is taking action.
Right.
Okay, so this article mentions people like Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, Walt Disney, Oprah Winfrey, Ariana Huffington, J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling, I hadn't thought of authors. Really cool. Okay, so what do you think about, or what do you think it takes to be a high achiever? For me, a high achiever is someone who meets their goals.
Right.
Right? So I think sometimes, you know, everyday people who aren't celebrities and things think, oh, I can't be a high achiever. Like, I'm just a mom. Or
I don't have those tools that they have.
Right.
Yeah.
Where if your goal is to give your kids the best childhood, to have a great education, to be involved in their lives, and you do that, you're a high achiever.
Right.
At least in my book, right?
Right.
So, okay, maybe some people think that you need to be super intelligent, super creative. You know, this article talks about people believing that you have to be the right kind of person to be a high achiever, when really that intelligence, that creativity, and that quote unquote luck is coming from putting your mind in the right place.
That's it. Like, I was getting ready to say, right, if you don't think you're the most intelligent person, I feel you just have to think. I feel like a lot of people, they don't take a second or a minute to just step back and think about whatever situation is, whether it's work, there's a task that you have to complete.
Yeah.
They just automatically want to just be like, oh, I don't know how to do that. Or nobody's ever showed me. With the year that we're in, with the technology that we have, with the resources that we have at our fingertips, Google if you don't know.
It's no excuse.
And at the same time, you don't have to. It's a percentage of, or a piece of, faking it till you make it, because you can go to somebody and say, listen, I don't know, but I'm gonna figure it out.
That's true. That is so true.
And that to me is the difference. Instead of
that.
being like, oh, I don't know, I can't do that, or feeling like, oh, I'm not that smart. Try to do it.
Yeah. And you know what?
You'll surprise yourself.
Even with the simplest things, like
Right.
I like that you said, just go ahead and Google it. I had been away last week, and while I was at my sister-in-law's house, I had a moment where I felt like, this isn't fair. My husband's out there working hard, and I'm here. My shop is closed. I'm not making money right now. What am I going to do? And then I said, no, just what you're feeling like is your mind isn't working. So I started playing Sudoku. I was like, this is my time to relax.
Okay.
I told myself that I'm going to relax.
Right.
I need this. So what can I do to keep my mind going? I started playing Sudoku, and you know what? I felt kind of liberated by that.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
And also, to your point, they always say with entrepreneurs, like, there's no days off, which is true, because who do you have to, like, fall back on? However, if you're in an office job, would you not get your week vacation? Would you not? So
Right.
I feel like it's person by, like, your own personal case of, do I want to take a little bit of time off? Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
And, it was cool because even when I did go to do work, like, putting together some pictures for Instagram or this or that, little things, I really enjoyed it so much more because I felt like I was being a go-getter at that time. Okay, so there's a high achiever who, and this is what this article is saying, the one from IQ Matrix, is saying, high achiever actually goes out and puts themselves into a position to get to know very specific kinds of people that have the knowledge and experience. So what I'm getting from that, and when I read this article, I was like, oh my gosh, why had we never thought of it this way? I see a lot of people saying, you can find the knowledge, you can do this, you can do that. I don't see anybody who has really been a high achiever who doesn't have a good mentor.
Right.
They always have a great mentor.
Right.
So that teaches me to step out of my shell and the importance of mentorship, because, look, sometimes you can read all of the information online, you can Google it, whatever, but
And it doesn't click.
It doesn't click.
Yep.
And also having that firsthand connection where you see somebody who actually did it. Mm-hmm. So I like that. Okay. And then it says, what it takes to develop a goal-getter mentality. And you already kind of said it, Chantel, and it's like basically making the decision that you're going to be a go-getter.
Right.
So how do we apply this to our lives right now? We can sit here right now, everybody listening, you're going to say, like, I'm not sitting still anymore. You know, you can say, this will be mine. This is mine.
Right.
Whatever affirmations you need to say. So then I was reading this article just kind of blew my mind, because when I was reading it, it sounded like, duh. It sounded like, well, yeah, I could have thought of that. I could have said that. But sometimes you need to really have it step by step, panned out, placed out for you to be able to, apply. So what resources do you need in your life to be successful at whatever it is that you want to do? A lot of people think financial resources. A lot of people think material.
Yeah.
Right? No, the resources are all up here in our heads because, and I'm going to just say it, did you ever find, like, the ratchet way to do something? Like, did you ever be in your house, right, when you're poor, or, like, if you've been through poverty, and you're sitting there and you're like, man, I'd really like a bath, but I don't have any hot water. Matter of fact, let me put this water on the stove. Like, you could say,
being resourceful.
I don't have the resources, right?
Right. Being resourceful without having what you think are the resources that you need.
You need to be creative. You need to be resourceful. You could say, oh, well, I can't have a bath, so forget it, like my muscles are going to ache, this and that. Or you could say, I'm going to warm up the water. Half of it could be cold because a couple buckets of that boiling water will even it out.
Right.
So just be creative and outdo yourself every day. And then so it says the next section in this article, breaking down the go-getter mentality. So what is a go-getter personality? I never thought I had a go-getter personality.
Ditto.
Really?
Yep.
I never did.
Yeah, no, and I know you're going to share what that says.
I want to hear.
So I looked at my husband, who is a go-getter. He has motivation.
He is
and
such
I remember
a go-getter.
asking him, like, how do you have that? He couldn't really tell me.
Really?
It was just like,
I feel like I hear him saying, I just do.
exactly. Like, to him, it's either you do or you don't.
Okay.
Either you're going to get up or you're going to lay down.
Ooh, do or die mentality.
Exactly. Don't make excuses, just do it.
Yeah.
So he doesn't understand the people who are on the flip side of that.
Yeah.
Who don't feel like go-getters, who feel like they lack that.
Still.
He can't sit still. Even when he's sick, he doesn't sit still. He will go with the flu to the gym.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will. That sounds like my husband, too.
Yep.
And you know what? You know what that is for us? That's motivation, because we see these men in our lives who, I think one part of it, I'm not going to lie, there's a little bit of it that's ingrained in you, right? Like, there's a little bit of it that we just can't have, and that's that extra energy. Like, physically, I don't have that energy that my husband has, that Chris has. You know, like, physically, our bodies are different. When our hormones hit, we're tired.
Yeah.
We feel this, we feel that.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that part, right? But the people who excel are the ones who go past that. When I have trouble waking up in the morning, I have trouble getting out of bed. And I'm not saying all the time, but, like 7 times out of 10, if I just get up and go, I can do much more than I told myself 30 minutes ago when I was laying in the bed that I could achieve.
Right.
And it's just like that get going. And so, like, yeah, some people just have it, and some people don't understand how to explain it to people. But this is what I see. I see people who, one, they don't want to sit still. So complacency is out of their vocabulary. There's no complacency. And this article is saying something that I really could work on. And it's saying go-getters are proactive.
They do.
They're proactive people.
They do.
They do.
In action.
Just do it. Just Nike. So being proactive is something that I need to work on, because I'm thinking about taxes, for example, this morning. Next week, for all of you who are going to tune in, we're going to be doing an episode on accounting. We're going to bring some accountants in. We're going to talk about taxes. But that tangent aside, Julio was like, oh, you got to get the papers together. Soon we're going to do this. Soon we're going to do that. And I'm like, until it's time for me to do it, I never think of that.
Yeah, like, what?
So what can you do right now, today, to be proactive, to go towards your goals and your dreams? You guys, this section right here is going to be one that I want you to stick into your mind to remember, because we're going to be talking about the go-getter mentality in lots of different ways, maybe not with those same words, but all year, because we're going to help you track your goals. Stick with us after this break. We're going to talk about a few more topics that we find really interesting, hopefully that will benefit you.
150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from invisible or silent. If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it, or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps. Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
No one gets a diploma alone. You need support.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back
Hey, besties, welcome back to the Vida show. Today we are doing our Sancocho episode, and we are so excited because we have with us, still in on the ones and twos, our amazing engineer, Shani Brown from Shantown, and myself, Julie Viera.
Yes, if you've never been, it's like, no, I'm joking.
Shantown is just north of Brenda's house in the Northeast,
gosh.
and it's made up place.
Yeah, it is.
If you're just tuning in, we are talking about what it means to be a go-getter. We're talking about experiences that we have in life. We're talking about where we're at, and we left the last segment talking about what it means to be a proactive person. How many of you guys are proactive? I'm going to give you a second to look at yourself. Oh, none of y'all? Me either. But I want to be proactive.
Yeah.
I want to be a proactive person.
I do too. I'm sorry, we didn't get a comment on YouTube, but I got a text message from somebody listening. It said, see it in your mind, believe it, and you will achieve it. You have to see it and keep that vision. Don't let the vision fade or disappear, and it will be done. Unfortunately, a lot of us don't hold on to it, to complete it if they don't see things going on towards that goal. Or if you try and it knocks them down the first time, they just give up. I feel this is the difference between the mind of an achiever and one that just accepts. Or they get complacent and they don't achieve to their highest ability. Last part of the comment, to be a goal-getter, for those of us that aren't created with an incredibly highly motivated automatic drive, we need to have vision. And as the Bible says, it's not in the comment. Thank you for that comment. The people perish for their lack of vision.
Ooh, and you know, that's a perfect segue because this year, did we not agree? Our word of the year is Vision 2020, full circle.
Yes.
Boom, boom, boom. I just want you guys to know, and this is a hot tangent, that Chantel and I decided we would prank Josh this morning. Josh is the guest that generally comes on our show. He's amazing. He has a podcast, Your Cup of Tea. He's a photographer. He's a great friend of ours, and he usually will fill in when Chantel and I are unable to make it together. We try to be proactive and bring in somebody to the show. So we text him this morning and we're like, hey, where are you? What's going on? He's like, did I agree to come on the show today? I'm so sorry. I'm home. Sorry, Josh. Shout out to you.
Yeah,
you
and he actually did
asset.
comment and said, hey, Laura and I are watching. Shout out to Laura and Josh. Thank you so much.
Shout out. Laura is his lovely lady. And
Lovely
Josh
lady.
and Laura are going to have to be on the show sometime together.
Yeah.
I actually spoke to them about that. So we're talking about being proactive. And one thing that I was reading about being proactive is that you have to build that skill like a habit.
Right. That makes sense.
It's not like something that you could just like, oh, I'm being a procrastinator. Let me just stop.
It's like exercising that muscle.
You can't
or building that muscle that you don't necessarily, that's all weak.
Yeah.
And you got to like
work
it out.
Like, that kind of blew my mind a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't really
I
think about
had
that.
never considered it that way. So I was watching this YouTube video, as I do. Chantel, you might have a Netflix documentary about this very topic. But the YouTube video said that what you need to do, and it broke it down into steps, is one, and we do this, is journal. You wake up in the morning and you practice mindfulness. So something that proactive people do and go-getters do is morning pages. Have you ever heard of morning pages?
I feel like I might have heard of the concept, but didn't hear of the actual like name.
Right.
Of it.
Okay. So basically, morning pages is this exercise that people do in the morning, and it's, you know, maybe with your cup of coffee, but before you really embrace anything else in the world, social media, emails, the person who you live with, anything, you sit down and you longhand, so not typing, not on your phone or anything, you longhand write down whatever's in your head. You just spill it out. Like, it doesn't have to even make sense. I started doing it, and what bothers me is I like to have a very fluid, like, beginning, middle, and end to my writing. Nope, none of that. You just, whatever's in your head. So it could be like, oh, yesterday's Hot Pocket was so good. Man, I've been meaning to find my W-2s, and, oh, I cannot believe that so-and-so did this and that. Whatever is in your mind, you just spill it out. So there's actually science behind it that says that you're freeing up space mentally where these synapses were all tangled up and the memories and these jointed thoughts were all tangled up and lost and not filed correctly. You're filing them in a place where you can tangibly connect writing and movement, and it just makes it so much easier to access. So they said that's step number one. I want to try that. I challenge you guys to try it. I do.
Eventually, I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying. I wake up like, oh, snooze.
Yeah. And you know what they said? that sometimes that's the best. That you wake up and you're not super coherent, so you're not trying to make your writing amazing. You're not trying to do this or that. You're just spilling. A lot of people, they start with their dreams. I don't tend to dream often, but they start with their dreams. So then what you do is you take time to reflect on that, whether it's throughout your day, in your car ride, at the end of the day, you know, you reflect on it. And for a lot of people, and it started happening to me, I found to-do lists in there. I'm like going through and I realized, oh, I did need to do that. Completely forgot. I'd like to do this. Maybe tomorrow I'll try this. So that helps you to then go to step 2, which is planning. So do you have a planner? Do you have an agenda?
Right.
But write it down. You have to write it down.
Right.
And then the third step to being a proactive person is whatever you can do if you think about something, if you can do it within 2 minutes, you do it right then. You don't say, oh, I'm going to do it later. If there is a cup in your living room, it needs to go to the kitchen, take it right away. Oh, I'm going to take that when I go. No, you're going to take it right away. That's it.
And you know what? I'm the person who's like, I'll get that later. My husband's the person that'll do it now. But you know what I've also found?
What?
It's not necessarily a bad thing, but so it's not just him. My mom's the same. They, like, what can I do now to not put off later? So, like, if I see that, I'll take care of it now. Take it as I'm going, pick it up as you go. And I don't know if there's a correlation. Mom, I love you. Chris, I love you. But they're like people that, like, as far as their sense of time, they don't really have it that great.
Ooh, we talked about this one time in a personal conversation.
So I'm wondering if, and it's great that they don't put things off, right? But to me, in my mind, Chantel's mind, I'm like, no, I got to do the one thing that I'm like focusing on now. I don't want to veer off and do that because as I'm looking at the time, Nehemiah's going to want to do this soon, or it's dinner soon, or I got, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking about those things where Chris is more like doing all these other things. If I ask him for, hey, can you get me the thermometer for the child, or can you give me something, and I'm waiting.
It'll take him like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm like, I've been sitting here waiting. And he's like, well, I had to go take this and I had to put the clothes in the dryer. And
so you're seeing the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the happy medium? And I think you said it. I think you said it when you mentioned, I realized I got to do this, and that. I'm hearing you need to know how to prioritize.
Right. That's true.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So if you have a little bit of a calendar, and this is going to sound really intense, but I'm just going to put it out there because this is what I did when I started getting my stuff together last year. I had this moment when I felt completely distorted. I felt like I wasn't being productive. I saw this, again, YouTube video that suggested that you do calendar blocking where literally you block out every single thing.
Like,
9 a.m., I'm going to do this. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm grabbing my coffee. I'm sitting down. I'm doing this from this time to this time. Block out everything. Obviously, that's not a way to live, but in order to get back in the rhythm and learn how to prioritize and learn how to stop procrastinating, you take a week or so and you have everything blocked out and you do that. And you make time. Even she was making time for naps. She was like, during this time and that time I'm eating. During this time and that time I'm sleeping. And I did it. I did it for like a week, and then it just came natural. I had a little bit of a habit.
That's a good idea.
It sounds really, really dramatic at first to do that.
It does, but then it doesn't. Like, at first you might be like, what? And it's like, actually, you know what? That actually sounds like it works.
Right. And so that helps you prioritize. Because when you're going down your list, you're looking at what you're going to put in that calendar. You realize, I only have a certain amount of time.
Right.
When you're writing it down into time, I'm like, okay, I have 15 things on my to-do list. I can do 6.
Right.
And then you learn how to prioritize a little bit more.
Makes you more realistic of, I'm human, and I can only do so many things within the time allotted today. And then tomorrow I can try the next list of things.
Exactly. So you guys try to be proactive. I hope this section was helpful for you, but I kind of want to take a little bit of a transition to trending topics. Right now, and I just want to throw this out there, I'm hearing a lot of things about the coronavirus. And so this is a complete
different
paradigm shift.
Yes.
Topic shift, and I could talk about, being a go-getter all day, but I realize we have a lot of other things that are scheduled for today. So the coronavirus. We traveled recently, and I got on the plane, and I was scared. I was scared.
I can see that.
Right. And, I saw some people with masks, and I saw some people who I was more scared of than others. And I realized I look ignorant. If I'm over here looking at certain people like, oh, I could get sick from you, that's ignorant. So I decided I need to educate myself about the truths about this coronavirus, because we don't want to walk around looking disrespectful, looking mean, looking awful.
And uneducated.
Right. Okay, so when you first think about the coronavirus, and obviously some of it is jokes and some of it is, memes, because any big epidemic that happens, it makes it to the internet and it gets memed.
Yep.
But when you think about the coronavirus, what are you hearing?
So it started in China, and people who are traveling are being quarantined if they travel from certain spaces, and it's a world epidemic. Can you get it from like air droplets, like breathing from people coughing and stuff, maybe, right? And that's the extent that I know.
Okay, so I've heard very similar things, and so I wanted to go down this, I don't even know, I guess infographic that I found, and it had a lot of sources, and people were trying to come together and figure out what was true and what was just complete
baloney.
Myth, right? Okay, so there's a myth about the coronavirus, and it says coronavirus is the most dangerous virus that exists. Did you know that that's a false statement?
What's the most?
It says that the common flu kills 60 times more people annually.
Josh and I were right last week. We said, while we know this is an issue, like, we feel like the flu is what we need to be a little bit more concerned about here. Okay, we were right. We were right, Josh.
Absolutely.
High five.
That blew my mind. Also, it says, I will die if I'm diagnosed with the coronavirus. You guys, if you get the coronavirus, you think you're going to die?
Yeah.
Okay. So the fact is, only 2% of cases have reported deaths, and most of these deaths were associated with weaker immune systems.
They made it just sound like if you get it, like you're doomed.
Yeah, they did. And so what we found out is that actually these people didn't have proper access to health care. They didn't make it in time. If you start feeling flu-like symptoms and you go to the hospital and you get treated, more likely than not, you're going to be fine.
Okay. Take your health seriously.
Take your health seriously, you guys. And we're going to go a little bit over in this section. So the next myth is I need to buy a hazmat suit and an N95 mask to stay protected. Now, I thought this when I got on that plane. I did. I was like, I'm going to need a mask. I'm going to need a hat. So would you do that?
I have said to myself that if I don't have any plane flight scheduled, but if I'm getting on a plane, I'm wearing me a mask.
Okay.
At the least, and then bringing stuff to wipe my seats down and stuff.
So actually it says the best protection is washing your hands. Washing your hands, you guys.
Teach you from young. And if we properly know how to wash our hands, you could sing the ABC song. Between your fingers, all that jazz.
Don't forget your thumbs. A lot of people forget their thumbs. I see it in the bathroom.
Sing the ABCs, and you will wash your hands. And I know.
So
working
that's
at the Head Start. It's like yes.
Okay.
So I'll be in there like A, B, C, D. Yep.
Wow. Because I see people go in, they wet their fingers and bloop, bloop, bloop.
And that's it.
That's not washing your hands, you guys. Okay. Second to last myth. We all need to panic and blame China for this emergency.
Yeah, I can see that. Sorry.
It also says, I should also make insensitive jokes about international students. Now, you guys, I almost was there.
Yeah.
I was almost making these jokes, and stuff, and I realized if it was about Puerto Rico, I would feel some type of way.
Right.
So it says the panic and hysteria
it's funny
that's
when
happening.
it's not your people.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's really sad, too. The panic and hysteria that's happening is fueled by racism, you guys, and xenophobia. And we do not support that here on the show. Therefore, we are here to educate you because we found, and I'm going to speak for myself, I found thoughts of xenophobia creeping up in the airport. And I have to admit to that.
Yeah.
So I decided nothing justifies that. I need to educate myself.
I feel that. And we had a couple comments. And what that's so funny, Josh said about the hazmats. That's true. Blinged out hazmat suit. I need that.
Bling it out. Now, if you want to bling out hazmat suit just because it's cute, that's fine. Yeah. All right, you guys, last myth. I should believe everything I read online about coronavirus because it's all factually checked and written without any bias.
Yes, especially if it's on Wikipedia.
That's what people are doing.
As I stare into the camera.
Wikipedia. Okay, obviously.
I'm joking, y'all.
This one is straightforward, you guys. Obviously, that's a joke. Misinformation and racism is more dangerous than any virus. And this is true. This is why they're saying in the election, if there's less technology, it could be more fair. You know, we're seeing this all parts of the world. Yeah. And it's also saying check for references and look for evidence, not ideology.
Be part of the solution and not the problem.
Right. So stick with us, you guys. I hope that you got educated about the coronavirus. We're going to be back with our last portion of the show.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I wasn't sure if I could do it. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but the teachers, the counselors, they help you. One of the teachers was Miss Araceli. Miss Araceli, she gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll come over and she'll sit there with you until you get it.
Thank you, Miss Araceli. I know you make a difference in people's lives because of the person and teacher you are. I wanted to be here because I wanted to thank you for helping me get a beautiful gift.
50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work. Getting your high school diploma, it is a life-changing experience. It really is.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hey besties, welcome back to the Vida Show Sancocho episode. Just before this break, we were talking about myths and facts regarding the coronavirus. I hope you guys take those to heart and really try to make sure that you're washing your hands, you're staying educated on how to protect yourself from the coronavirus or any other virus and flu. So this section is a little less serious than the last few sections. And I just, did you ever go on Twitter, Facebook, whatever social media, and you find those articles of random facts or life hacks and things like that, and you're reading them forever?
Reading them forever, and then you know what has slowed me down? Like, how reliable are these sources? That's but yes, it's like a whole rabbit hole.
It's a whole rabbit hole. I want to go down that rabbit hole. Okay, so
let's go down. Dylan, you got the string to pull us back up just in case? The string or the whatever. The rope.
We're not making it up on a string, man. Not with this booty. So, you guys.
True that.
This article that I found is about 50 incredible did you know facts that will astonish everyone.
Okay.
So, we're here to figure out whether or not we're astonished.
Okay. I think I'm ready.
Did you know?
Okay.
Grapes light on fire in the microwave.
Who puts grapes in the microwave? First of all, can we talk about that? I know for the sake of time we're not going to, but what the heck?
All right, I'm gonna tell you. In a 2019 study, the proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences reported that the fruity fireball occurs as a result of loose electrons and ions that cluster to form plasma when grapes get hot.
So scientists would be the only people.
It was whole scientists out here putting microwave grapes together.
I will never understand people. And I guess that's a good thing because then you have stuff like this. Okay.
Okay, ready? Did you know? Okay, actually, how many possible different variations of a phone number do you think are possible within one area code?
Within one area code?
One area code.
You know what? That has to be a big number because, so where I'm from is 609. It's been 609 for a long time, and they just now introduced a new area code because I guess they maxed out all the 609s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I'm curious to know how many.
So are you like hundreds of thousands, millions, billions? Like, what are you thinking?
Dang.
And remember,
I
area
have to think
code,
cell phones, and so landlines first, and then cell phones.
Yeah.
Businesses, I don't know.
It is saying that each area code, like 792, 609, whatever that is,
267,
has 10,000 possible phone numbers attached to it.
That's it.
Also, it says there are almost 8 million possible 7-digit phone numbers per each area code. So
Okay.
So
Okay.
like the prefix there's 10,000 different prefix.
Right.
And then with the 7 digits, so like per area code,
Okay.
it could be 8 million.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna have to check that. But that's what it said, and I believe it.
I think I could see that because how many different ways can you make a number? And then you're right, the prefix, there's many, behind the area code, there's many different prefixes.
Right.
There can be.
Crazy. Okay. Did you know that spaghettio, confetto, a lot of spaghetti different variations. They're the singular form of spaghetti. So it's like spaghetto, confetti for confetto, graffiti, graffito. That's the plural and the singular.
What?
So
graffiti's just not, it's not just the graffiti on the wall. It's if you talk about graffiti all over.
I don't know. I thought it was like a kind of pasta.
Graffiti is a type of pasta?
I don't know. All these are pastas, y'all. All right, let's just stick with spaghetti. Spaghetti, you don't say spaghettis. You say spaghetto.
I just thought spaghetti was just like the
plural.
And
singular?
Yeah, like just
oh no, not me. I've been going around here like I want some spaghettis. I've been wrong too. Spaghettis. So that's weird. Did you know McDonald's once created bubblegum flavored broccoli?
That's disgusting.
Whose idea?
That is disgusting. I hope they were fired. If this is true, I hope they were fired right after their presentation.
McDonald's CEO Don Thompson admitted the kids were confused by the taste. Well, duh. Did you know the average mammal takes 21 seconds to empty its bladder? I never counted. The average mammal. So next time... I've never counted.
Julie's going to be counting. Julie, don't let him call you in the middle of using the bathroom. Be like, stop it, I'm counting.
1,
you just messed
2,
me up.
3, 4. So now I'm going to be counting people's pippies. Okay. Did you know chewing gum is banned in Singapore?
Yes.
I knew that.
So I did know that if you went over there as a tourist, like have a pack. There's this, I don't know if this was fact either, but I was looking it up because I wanted to go there. And it was like, don't travel with loose gum. This was some years ago.
Okay.
Like sticks, travel with a pack. Because if you travel, or was it the other way around? Whatever way it was, it looks like, it's like you could be illegally selling it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
and then there's a part of the cleanliness thing and
that's what
spitting
they
it out.
said. It was an effort to keep the city clean.
Yeah.
Super different. Okay. Did you know the average U.S. household has 300,000 things in it?
I believe it. Have you seen Hoarders?
Right.
Even though I know everybody's
they're
not like
beyond.
Yeah. So I believe it because my husband, even though my house is nowhere near Hoarders, my husband believes I'm a hoarder. So if I'm the average person, I believe.
Does that count like every grain of rice?
That's a good question. But I also keep like report cards from like kindergarten and stuff that I
This is
have.
true.
So yeah.
So many things.
Yeah.
Did you know that the 1939 novel Gatsby is the longest book ever published that doesn't contain the letter E in it? Oh, interesting.
Wait, which book is this?
Gatsby. Gadsby by Ernest Vincent Wright.
Doesn't have the letter E?
Nope.
So that means he never wrote with a the.
No, I just guessed the title. I think it's the title.
Oh.
Oh, wait.
Oh. I'm like, how? How can you do that?
Matter of fact, I lied, y'all. I lied. Back in 1939, American author Ernest Vincent Wright published Gatsby, a 50,000-word novel that doesn't use the letter E once. What's more, it's not the only novel that ditched the letter. Author Georges Perec also wrote the French-language book La Disparition without the letter E in it. That was in 1969.
I don't know about the French language.
They got E's.
So I'm like,
wow.
That doesn't even sound possible.
Oh, they had time.
A lot of time.
They can even use the word time. Interesting. Oh my goodness. Guess what color lobster's blood is?
Black, purple, black.
Black or purple?
I don't know.
Clear. They said, did you know lobsters have clear blood?
I don't think we're supposed to be eating lobster.
Lobster's
That's my
blood
proof right
is
there.
initially clear and turns blue when it hits oxygen. We have a couple more before we wrap up today, you guys. Did you know the first item sold on eBay was a broken laser pointer?
A broken laser? What do you do with a broken laser pointer?
I don't know. Maybe you fix it and you give it to a cat.
A cat.
Did you know that, y'all, I'll have to look this up. I'm going to have to look this up. Japan is suffering from a ninja shortage. That's what they said. They said despite the fact that they're willing to pay salaries as high as $85,000 for the performative ninjas, they are not able to staff their annual ninja festival.
That's
I'm
so
looking
sad.
that up. I'm looking that up.
Please look that up.
Okay,
Because
more.
I'm curious.
Did you know?
Josh, can you check that?
That's true. Josh was born in Japan. Josh, you're going to need to check that for us.
Yeah, he even told my dad happy birthday in Japanese last week, so.
Oh. Did you know that there was a prehistoric dragonfly that's wingspanned more than 2 feet?
That would be scary.
A dragonfly?
They already make me a little bit nervous, even though they don't really bother you when they fly around. So, yeah.
All right, and then here's one more. Did you know that bubble wrap was originally invented as wallpaper?
It's wrong on so many. If somebody leans against your wall,
yeah,
pop, 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 pop.
We're gonna leave that to blow you guys' mind. Thank you
Pop,
for
pop, pop,
joining our Sancocho episode
Pop, pop,
on the
pop,
Viera
pop.
Vida show. We hope you got a lot out of this episode and you
Pop.
got a few laughs too. Pop, pop goes the weasel.
Perfect ending.